Greetings, this is Xbox Ahoy, and this is episode 28 of my Modern Warfare 2 weapon guides. In this episode we're covering the fourth available shotgun, the Ranger. The Ranger is a sawn-off double-barreled shotgun, unlocked at level 42. The weapon featured in-game is an American shotgun of unknown provenance. Ranger was the brand name for a line of hunting shotguns sold by Sears and Roebuck company, dating to the early 20th century. A variety of different manufacturers made shotguns under this brand name, so it's difficult to pin an exact model. The Ranger uses standard 12-gauge shotgun cartridges, likely double-aught buck. The weapon has been extensively modified with a sawn-off barrel, and much of the stock has been removed. This will increase shot dispersion, reduce muzzle velocity, and aid in concealment. There are no sights on the Ranger, but this isn't so much of an issue as precision isn't one of the Ranger's characteristics. The Ranger boasts the highest damage of all the shotguns in-game. At point-blank range, each of the 6 pellets will deal 75 damage. This means that even without stopping power, a single shot from the Ranger is capable of dealing 450 damage. Enough to kill somebody 4.5 times over. This massive damage is somewhat tempered by the very short range of the weapon. In fact, the Ranger has the shortest effective range of all the shotguns. Still, if you can get close enough with the Ranger, you will definitely have the upper hand, with the ability to kill even painkiller users in just one shot up close. This is the perfect weapon for those who like to get up close and personal. There are not many attachments available for the Ranger, and the first unlock is arguably the best. Akimbo gives you 2 Rangers, increasing your firepower with no real downside. Range, hipfire spread, and damage remain the same as the single Ranger, except now you get 4 barrels to unload instead of just 2. It essentially boils down to extended mags in its effect. The other attachment, FMJ, increases penetration but pales in usefulness when compared to Akimbo. If you're using a primary weapon with bling, then by all means pair FMJ with Akimbo, but otherwise there's little reason to stray from the double Rangers. For my blue perk, Marathon was the best choice as far as mobility was concerned. But another good alternative would be sleight of hand, as you will need to reload often, particularly with a single Ranger. Sleight of hand will often save you when you miss or otherwise fail to kill your opponent with the first 2 shots. It's also useful in free-for-all, where you will have serial engagements as opposed to groups of enemies. The incredibly short range and massive damage means that stopping power is not that important for the Ranger. Lightweight is probably the more sensible choice, especially with the pro version of the perk giving you faster recovery after sprinting. This means the Rangers are great when paired with another weapon that doesn't need stopping power. The UMP-45 silenced with cold-blooded would be a good partner, as would the WA-2000 or FAL. For your third perk, Ninja will allow you to sneak up behind enemies much more easily. Otherwise, particularly with the ranges you are effective at, your footsteps will be heard and the element of surprise will be lost. Steady aim isn't a bad pairing either. This will tighten up your hipfire spread and make for more reliable one-hit kills at the edge of your effective range. Stun grenades are a great choice, as they extend the reach of the Ranger by allowing you to get closer while the enemy is stunned. If you manage to stun someone facing away from you, they won't be able to turn around before you can get close and kill them. Semtex can be used in a similar way, extending your effective range and often buying you enough time to reload or to switch to your primary weapon. The Ranger works best when used as a situational weapon, clearing interiors or any sort of anticipated close-range encounter. The ability to net one-hit kills up close will be very useful when moving through corridors and stairwells. One thing to beware while using the Ranger is your limited ammunition capacity. Even with Akimbo Rangers, you'll only have 4 shots before you need a reload, and it's all too easy to expend your entire supply prematurely. Fire control is absolutely essential. It's best not to unleash both barrels at once, instead only firing additional shots when necessary. If you expend everything you've got, you'll be left vulnerable while you reload, during which, more often than not, you'll end up knifed or gunned down. It takes some practice to perfect, and even then in situations where you are taken by surprise, the temptation to unload as quickly as possible remains. But learning to reserve your shots for when they're really needed is critical, especially against multiple enemies. One trick with the Akimbo Rangers is to fire both barrels on a single Ranger before the other, allowing you then to reload one while you still have another ready and fully loaded at your disposal. Even in one-on-one situations, you need to beware. Last stand users will often manage supine revenge if you expend all your ammunition in downing them. The awesome power of the Ranger is hard to ignore, and the reliable one-hit kills up close makes for a dependable weapon for close-range encounters. If you can get behind the enemy and remain undetected, you can punish the unaware and eliminate entire groups. It's not a particularly versatile weapon, and it becomes completely ineffective at ranges comfortable for other shotguns. But if you've got a mobile class setup or have a need for an unstoppable weapon in tight situations, the Rangers might very well be for you. Thanks for watching. This has been Xbox Ahoy. Join me next time when I'll be covering the 4th available SMG, the P90. Farewell for now.